Hello, everyone, and welcome to another edition of our Profile Line Party. And we are chugging along on this train to our next harmonic profile, the three sixes. Let's get our lovely co host Danny on stage. Danny, are you excited?
I'm ready. This is good stuff. We are marching along. This is good.
Right. All
You ready?
right. So let's show everybody what the 3-6 profile is about.
Yeah, let's talk about this. This is one of the more, in a way, it's a very profound transitional profile. It's moving on to the left angle process, and it's the last transition before we really get into the juxtaposition and the left angle. It is the
Mhm. So
most
we
out
have
in the
our
world.
lovely house analogy here. Do you
Yeah,
want
it's
to
just
explain it like last time?
Sure. It's just that the 3-6 is the most out in the world in a way. And so that's why they experience their 3-6-ness so much because it's juxtaposed to others. That third line is this it was the martyr role model. And the martyr is the person who stands by their principles, bumps into things, does stuff, and it's exemplified by they're walking up the staircase to the second floor on the right hand side. They're not the foundation. They're not sitting on the second floor, just like a second line, not knowing. They're in movement. They're moving
Mhm.
between the two. And then the sixth line is up on the roof. But that's not the first 30 years of their process, 28.6 years, really, but 28 to 30 years of their process. It's spent as a third line. So really, they spend their first part of their life as a 3-3, essentially,
Mhm.
getting into every last thing. They don't have that up on the roof stage yet. That becomes more objective. And so they're down in the world times 10. That's the point.
Mhm.
They're down in the world times 10, but they're yearning for perfection. And that's what helps drive them up onto the roof as a metaphor to be able to look out over everything. I can't see anything from in here. I don't like it anymore. I've done many things. I'm not a natural 3-3. I'm waiting to go up on the roof and
Mhm.
need to stand back some. So that's what this up on the roof phase is, but it doesn't happen for the first 30 years.
Mhm. Now let's get into some of the fun core traits, right? So 3-6's desire, exploration, and new experience. They have an inclination to stay put and be responsible and be a role model for others. This is coming from their six, right? And
Mhm.
they balance exploration and observation. And they are nourished by their home life, but also for the freedom to travel and experience things. Danny, do you have anything to add?
Just the travelers. It's the 4-6s and 3-6s are the travelers, not the only ones, but they want to get out. Nope, moving on.
Mhm. Okay, would you like to do learning and authority?
Sure. Learning and authority learns best through the experiential way. That's that third line process, bumping into things. Despite old soul wisdom, which is technically inherent for all six lines,
Mhm.
perfectionism challenges learning from mistakes. And that's funny, this perfectionism word, there it is. The Yeah, they seek that perfection. This learning and authority is deeply involved with that process. A deep desire to experience life fuels a need to be actively engaged, in the world. It's sort of taking off on the second bullet point. Feeling safe and secure is essential to fully opening up to learn. That's not quite as true in that first part of their process. They learn to make it be true as they try and regain their optimism. That's what it's happening. That's the going up on the roof is to regain that optimism is a big part of it. And then, although appearing self-sufficient, 3-6s need the love and support in a relationship. I mean, even if they're a single definition, but they still bump into it and move out of it and bump into it, and they need extra support in that way, or else they won't get what we all humans need. So something to keep in mind.
Mhm. So, challenges and ways to get empowered, right? So, perfectionism can strain relationships. There could be themes of indecision and fence sitting. The third line trial and process is critical for development. But the sixth line's optimism can be clouded by the third line's pessimism.
Yes.
And authority and wisdom emerge through experience and self-mastery. Anything to add?
Yes, it's just important to notice that what's happening when they go up onto the roof as a metaphor to try and get out of that third line phase, because they need to, is to recognize the deepness in which anything regarding pessimism or this didn't work or I ran into too much stuff has set in will add to the length of time of clearing that out of your vision while you're up on the roof is there to basically wipe it all off and get back to your optimistic state, which is fueled by a certain amount of, wanting things to be perfect. And so this becomes your a la carte of what do I really need to be perfect? Because some things you do, and that's part of how you model for us. So you're not just being a jerk because you like it perfect at all. You're being correct.
Right?
Conclusion: 3 6s are sought out for advice and blessings. Well, I would say and help. Embrace the journey of discovery through self growth, and unless they're bogged down by too much trauma in that first stage, and then it'll take a little longer. They recognize the wisdom of this third line and all its discoveries. And when they really start to see the wisdom of it, suddenly it all clears up. We like that. And trust in a process and the perfection that's possible, in our 9-centered life, in our life that must commune. And as soon as the 6th line feels trust, the perfectionism starts to go down. What's it really matter? That becomes part of the role model's process. The role model is really here to be an example of just being themselves. It's not to be Dr. Rogers. I mean, although that could be it. It's just to be themselves. So it's sort of a quiet process at the same time.
There was one question I was going to ask you, Danny, that I don't think our slides went over, is what about so this is one of the last personal
Destiny profiles.
Yes.
Yep.
So what about them, I guess, makes them different from, let's say, a 6-3, which we haven't covered yet?
Well, because they're involved in their own personal process. Their discovery is so deeply, profoundly their own. And whereas the transpersonal process, sure, they have their own process, but it's highly dependent upon how they're looking out over the rest of everything else as it relates to them. They see a little further in that looking out over, in a sense. But either way, 6 lines is 6 lines is 6 lines. That living example of being themselves, finding the optimism as life moves on is literally this thing that they give to us. We need it.
Without further ado, let's have our amazing 3-6 guests to shine all their 6ness and their 3ness up onto us and the audience. So we are going to start off with our lovely 3-6 projector.
How does it go?
Jer.
Shine on me, crazy diamond. How's it going, Jer?
It's pretty good. Yeah. And it's also pronounced Jair.
Oh, Jair. Sorry about that.
Yes.
Okay, thanks for that, man. So you've been in this for a little while?
Yes, I've been in my experiment for a couple of years now. Yeah, and I'm planning on doing readings and stuff, but I'm still acquiring knowledge and formatting it all.
My biggest love is to get people keynoting and stacking it up into the fluent language it is supposed to be. It's so good, Jair. I'd love to be part of that at some point.
Oh yes, definitely.
Yeah.
But yes, if there's anything you'd like the audience to know about yourself, your journey as a 3-6 projector, please let them know.
Well, I've definitely been through the whole trial and error aspect of it. I still have a couple more years till my Saturn return, so lots of trial and error until then. But yeah, I'm really into astrology, human design, and the gene keys as well. I study them all together because I feel like they're all 3 different sides of the same coin.
Essentially, yeah. Awesome.
Beautiful. Thank you. So now we're going to have our lovely 3-6 reflector joining us. Hello, Jessica.
Hi, I'm so happy to be here.
We're so excited to have you. Anytime I get a very rare profile to even agree to come on the show, I throw a little internal party in my mind. I'm like, I found one.
Yeah, you guys aren't easy to find, just so you know.
So I
was actually trying to get Jair to help. I was like, do you know anyone? And he's like, nope. And I'm like,
nope,
yes, this is on my own. So thank you. Being a reflector and a 3-6, unicorn upon unicorn stacking.
Yeah. I had no idea. I just started. I learned about human design in 2021, and I joined a reader certification program without knowing it. I just wanted to learn about human design. I didn't know that it was a reader, like a certified reader program.
Mhm.
And everybody was talking about being a reader, and I'm like, I don't know if I could do this, but it was just nice to learn about everything. But yeah, so I've been experimenting ever since, and everything's just been making sense.
Sweet. How long ago was that?
2021. So yeah, like 3 years. I had my Saturn return at the time, or yeah, I was going through it at the time. So it was just all making sense.
Mhm.
So it was amazing to watch kind of like in real time, like learning everything and seeing it all play out.
Catching people at their Saturn return is a big deal because so much can be discovered at that point. There's an open receptivity that is a little bit heightened around that time for people. So it's really good.
Right. Yeah. And then it was also like the first 30 years, like the first part of the 6th line. So
Yep.
I was like, oh, okay. So then now I guess I'm in the second part. And yeah, like I said,
Oh, so you're on the roof.
Yeah.
I didn't know if anyone on our guest list was going to be on the roof. So that's good to know. One of us is on the roof.
We'll be discussing all this stuff. And the same thing
Exactly.
with Jessica, just like I think I gave my number backstage before, whatever, she'll shoot it to. Let's do at least a thing or something. I'm
Yeah.
trying to pour out my love. So moving on.
Amazing. Yes. So
I
let's
live
bring
in
up.
New York City and there are fireworks, so just don't mind it.
Oh, no worries. I didn't really hear much. All right. And now we have our 3/6 manifester, Mosab. Hello.
Hello.
What's up? Hola, buddy.
Hi.
You've been at this for a little while?
Yeah, I've learned about human design around 2021. And as a quadrant, I found myself deconditioning and unconsciously, sort of, I would say about last year. I'm currently on the roof. So as a 3/6, I definitely don't really resonate with being on the roof. I feel like I'm pretty much in the world. I feel my body is requiring my attention to actually be like on the roof. Like I need to have that intention to step out of the world.
Bob, it's a blending process, and you just keep watching it. Seeing it is the mother of living it. Seeing it fixes it. And remember, the kid in you is always right. Just remember that. The kid is always right.
Oh, that's interesting. When you mentioned that it's your body feeling it, right? So your 6 is your unconscious, right? Versus a 6/3, which is like they will consciously identify with it. So that's something interesting to note.
Moana, one other thing to answer your question from before, the other difference would be is the 3/6 is aware that sustaining, bumping into things and having to be persistent is their life's way. When it's a 6/3, they're not aware of it. It's in their unconscious. And so when they think it's supposed to be ending, it never leaves. And so it can be a little more disconcerting to them that way. That would be another.
See, interesting. Those are your counterparts. On the other side. They're the last episode. So if you are curious, please do come out and check them out. And then last but not least, our 3/6 generator, Ella. Welcome.
Hey, thank you.
Hi, how
Thank
are
you for
you?
having me. I'm good, just a bit sleepy. It's 3 in the morning here.
And you agreed
Oh
to come
my
on.
God. Dude, we owe you. We owe you, man. We owe you. We owe you.
Thank
No
you so
worries. I'm
much.
excited to do this. I'm really excited to do this.
Oh, so tell us whatever you'd like us to know about your journey and all the things.
Yeah.
I feel like I got into this also in 2021, and I think it's one of those things I always check like astrology, so I'll either be on formally Twitter and different aspects, and then you'll see a link somewhere and you say, oh, what's this? Then you go and you Google, and I just ended up on this, and I said, oh, interesting. And I think it was the first time in so long my life made sense when I discovered, like, oh, I'm a generator and I'm reading things and I'm like, they're telling me about me. And I was like, wow. And I remember calling one of my friends and I said, oh my gosh, someone makes sense in the world about me. Because I just kept
Mm.
feeling locked out and left out. And I'm like, why? I just kept feeling like this cycle that's not ending. And now, even just doing the 3-6, I'm like, yeah, makes sense. Yeah, yeah.
Oh, that's so amazing. Well, this was lovely. Now you get to have some fun with our other co-host with your bingo cards. So Danny and I are going to tap out, boop, and bring
Tapping out.
Moni back on.
Hello, hello.
Hello.
Hey.
I love hearing everyone's like stories and then everyone's different accents. And like, this is so much fun. I love like all the fun people that like Moana finds for us. So thank you for being part of this with us.
Thanks for
All right.
having me.
Thank you
Of
for
course.
having us.
Yeah, welcome, welcome. So ready to play bingo?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So our first one is going to be experts on life. And then our next one is embrace messiness. If you relate to that one. After that, we have relatable and lovable. Next one up is going to be leads change. I feel like that's especially like after, like you come off the roof after like in your 50s. So it's like a fun thing to look forward to. After that, we have vicarious living. And then the next one we have is frames experience as wisdom. Like with all that like third lining and like bumping into things, you get to learn a whole lot of things. Fun and extraordinary. Navigates change challenges lightly. Navigates challenges lightly. I guess you learn to. Next one up, we have avoid social drama. So if you're going to keep bumping into everything, you learn to avoid some stuff. Next up, we have share your journey. You experience so much, and especially imagine like after that role model phase comes through, there's like so many lessons to share. And we have balances exploration and leadership. There we have trial and error process. We have seeking positive reinforcement. I'm guessing some of you are getting close. Then we have standing up for principles. And there's playful experimentation. Inspiring others.
I just want to make sure so that we're not like on here forever.
Yeah.
Is anyone getting anything?
I haven't.
No.
not
Oh my
today.
god, I was starting to wonder. I swear to God, I was like, do I have the right list? Because on our list, I'm starting to get things that sound like the fifth line. Hey, Moana, did you send me the right
I was like,
Hold on. I want to
That's
go.
the weirdest thing ever.
Hold on. I want to make sure that
Thank you,
we didn't
Jessica.
have a technical error. That would be very appropriate for a 3-6 episode to have errors.
yeah, it's on brand.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah,
okay.
I think I sent you the wrong list. Whoops.
It's so
Sorry,
like,
everybody.
very 3-6 though. Like it's such a perfect like trial and error on top of a trial and error.
No, I did send it to you. Okay, did you read the first one? It was turning chaos into order.
I found it now. I found it now, but not yesterday when I was saving it.
Oh, so I see you're in the doc right now. So I think we're looking at the same thing.
Well, so I opened whatever was sent to me previously, and I'm also a third line, so I might have clicked the wrong one. But I totally saved it as 3-6. And now I'm looking, and I actually see the correct 3-6 one. So that's what I got. Turning chaos into order, number 1.
So that was a warm-up round with some other profile. I have no idea what we were reading off of. We have
It sounded like some
12
fifth line business
profiles
because I
to
started
go.
seeing savior and like projections, and I was like, I don't know if this is the right one, and nobody's saying anything. Maybe they're just a quiet bunch. I'm just gonna go through it quicker.
Moni, you should totally explain what you noticed. Whenever we do one of these parties, the entire vibe of the episode changes into that profile. Like,
Oh,
I'm kid
completely.
you not.
Like every single one, like the first one we did was like 1-3, and they're very like cool. Let's bump into stuff and figure it out. Like they're ready to dive in. And the 1-4s were like more like nervous, where they're like, we need a solid foundation, and they're like a bit more timid. And then like the 2-4s were like super chatty and social and naturals. And then was it like the 3-5s?
The 3-5 last week.
For last week, they were like, cool, let's bump into it and chat about it. Like, and this one is like, let me just keep making weird mistakes and trying to make up for it.
Anyways, I'll leave you to it.
Okay, so thank you for saying something, because I was starting to wonder too. The first one on the actual proper list is turning chaos into order. Let's do it, guys. And tell me that you guys have some of these ones popping up. Born wise.
Oh, there we go. I
This
have
one?
something now.
This one?
Yeah.
So you guys like, man, everyone was like, man, I got the worst bingo card.
I know. I'm seriously thinking that.
Crash course in life for the first 30 years. Life shapes wisdom. Role model figure. And you have people look up to you. We have navigating ups and downs. Next up, there is balancing perfection and humanity. Perfection creates distance. Yeah, don't try to be perfect. It ain't gonna work. Next up, we have owning your wisdom. Magnetizing people. I like this next one. Chaos fuels wisdom. After that, we have trusting experiences. And we have living life fully. This one is fun. Observing and chilling.
Oh, bingo.
Oh, yay.
Oh.
Good job. But everyone's a winner here because it's all just to be fun and goofy and just to kind of start getting to know each other. So thanks for playing along with my third line and helping me through that.
All right. Tag.
Tag, bye.
You guys are about to get talkative. I hope you're ready. So as we start to share some of the answers that are going to come up, I'm going to ask you guys some questions. Just to get the forum going, just start talking amongst yourselves. Don't let it, be anything other than. So, question number one. Can I say something before I ask this question? That 6-line process of people looking up to you, you might not notice that like a lot or only in little things. And that's because the world isn't ready yet. We got a lot of work to do. It's not you they're not looking up to. It's the deafness of all of us for having been conditioned in the soup for so long. So, I mean, it is there and you already know it, Sarah. I just wanted to point that out because sometimes it's a trip and people wonder what the hell. Anyway, so how do you balance your trial and error nature with the need for the principles to be respected? How do you balance this thing that bumps into things and does stuff and is willing to stick by its principles with the fact that you're bumping into stuff and you need to be respected regardless that you knock something over by accident? I mean, as an example. So how do you guys balance that? How does that feel when you're doing that and living that out?
Well, for me, like as a Gemini, I really like the juxtaposition of controlled chaos and planned spontaneity and everything. So if I know that something's like going to be bad, just do it fast, bad, and wrong, and you just get it all out the way and then just fix it later and just give myself freedom for it to be chaotic but peacefully.
For me, I think it comes from entering into the experience itself correctly, meaning to understand that I'm just experimenting here. I'm not attached to the outcome. It may work, it may not work. Coming from this place, I feel more comfortable into trying new things, into getting to more experiences, and I feel more comfortable probably sharing that with people to kind of respect my principles. Just have no expectations.
Mm-hmm.
I think for me on my end, it's been a lot of learning currently to fail forward, because previously it's been a lot. I think I'd have a lot of perfectionism and I want things to be a certain way. So if I have a task, say I'm supposed to design a poster, and I'm looking at it and I start figuring, I'm like, okay, so how would Jessica make it look like? How would, and I'm already expecting the end without even going through the process. So I panic and then I do it last minute. So now I've learned, just do it and then get corrected either along the way or at the end, and then work on that versus just holding too long on it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree. I think before human design, if I made mistakes, there was just always this innate feeling of that everything was just gonna be okay. I just always knew that no matter what happened, it was gonna be okay. But then now that I know about human design and everything makes sense, I just have more grace for myself and just more confidence, I think. So if I make a mistake, I just think, well, this is just part of the process.
Yeah. Sounds like a lot of compassion is needed, yeah.
Yeah. Yes. A lot.
It's definitely all of those things. That was really good answers, just sort of starting to get used to the thing. Part of this value of your profile is there's no such thing as a mistake. And that's hard to comprehend in our world that punishes or rewards the right mistakes or not. I mean, we reward mistakes. Somebody got paid a lot of money to go through all the mistakes of making our iPhones before they finally work, right? So it's not like we don't reward them, but it's kept under wraps, that reward. We don't want to, that's sort of not who we are. Can you share a time in your life when you stood firm on your principles after it keeps saying making a mistake, after bumping into something what might have appeared to be a mistake, where you stood firm by this stuff and just stood firm like a brick wall in the face of the adversity of the person or people that you may have affected? So how did that feel compared to when you didn't? This is the big part of the question. How did it feel compared to the times that you caved in on your principles? I assume most of us have caved a time or two in our life. And so if you can remember back to that and just, what did that feel like? Could you tell there was a difference? One empowered you, one didn't.
I'll go. I can go. For me, honestly, before learning about human design, I had this relationship with my emotional authority. I wouldn't call it emotional authority, but I just learned that I'm not the kind of person that I should just make decisions like, from the moment. Like, I should be really taking my time, especially like with big life-changing decisions. So one of the biggest decisions that I made was a career that I worked for like for 6 years, and I worked really hard to get like a certain job position, and I stayed in that position for 2 years, and then I decided it looked to the others that it just, I guess a product of the moment, that I just decided that I'm gonna quit. But I was in this process of, I'm gonna go for another year in this job and I see if I'm gonna like it, or if this is gonna work, if this is gonna be like a long-term thing. So it's looking at it now from here, it feels like the emotional authority and also the trial and error process is like, I'm still in the process, but I have not made a final decision by staying or final decision by quitting. I'm still like collecting data and see how I feel about where I'm at. And then, once I reach clarity, I was able to make that decision, even though that there was a lot of pressure from family and friends, like, you're making a huge mistake. But I felt more in tune with my internal world, that this is a decision that I'm making for me, and no one else knows about the consequences of making decisions. I'm gonna have to deal with these consequences. So, in short, I guess strategy and authority.
For me, I think generally, okay, for a long time I've been a people pleaser based, either on trauma experiences and seeking validation. And the one time I can recall was at the end of 2019. We went for a holiday, and I kept asking myself, why am I leaving where we were? It was a coastal town, and I said, why are you leaving? And when I went back home, I said, I'm going to look for a job and move. I didn't have a reason in terms of being able to quantify, because I was like, I don't have the money to move, but given a chance, I would have just left and just gone there. And I remember telling myself, you know what, it doesn't matter what anyone says. It doesn't matter even if there's no plan, you're going to find a job, so at least you can sustain yourself. And I remember within a week of making that decision, I found a job, and I did the interview, and they asked me, you're taking like a pay cut, a huge pay cut. And I said, I just need to move and eat, like I can afford to do the basic things. And they were so confused, and they're like, but in the city, like, your qualifications are so much higher. And I said, it doesn't matter. This is what I want. And by the time I was telling my family, I was giving them information. I was not asking for permission, because I've always had that, hey, I'm thinking of this point. It was, by the way, I'm moving. And everyone is like, what do you mean? What's happening? And they didn't even give them time to think about it, because the next day I was out. And I think for me, it was one of the best, like that moment where I have the conviction. I feel like I'm making a mistake or bumping into something, but the validation came from within. And that is now what I feel satisfies me or gives me the calm versus waiting externally, like, having to ask someone, should I do this or what do you think? So I think that for me is that experience.
Yeah.
Did you want to go?
I mean, you can go if you want, but I mean, it doesn't matter.
Okay, yeah. Well, I was still like thinking of how to formulate my answer, but I can just go. So,
Same, yeah.
yeah, with the whole standing on principles and everything, like integrity has been like a very big thing for me, like my whole life. And then like with like being a 3-6 and everything, like all the everything, like bumping into everything and like learning by doing and just having like audacity and conviction to be out in the universe and like just trying to figure out how to just like do things and just decide that it's going to be okay. And if I'm not okay, I'll just figure out how to be okay after that. So like I've just like been developing a relationship with just having conviction and audacity within myself and like daring the universe. Like I'm just going to be okay, like no matter what it seems like. I was trying to like find a way to put that into better words, but that's about what I was thinking of.
I like that because growing up, I'm Filipino, and anytime I wanted to do something, I would have, family members. There's a saying in Tagalog, but it's basically translates to like, who does she think she is? And so I've always had to kind of have the audacity to go after whatever I want. And it sucks because, with the trial and error process, like we're going to make it'll look like mistakes to other people. And so it was just really frustrating having to explain myself sometimes, especially to my parents, like, this is what I want to do. But, they'll say, oh, but, how are you going to do this? Or, you're probably not going to make as much as if you do this job. So yeah, it was just really frustrating. But again, it's like that innate like feeling. I don't know. I just always had this sense of it's going to work out. And I don't know, it always has. So
Yeah.
Yeah, we're very optimistic.
yeah.
Mhm. This whole process is amazing. Guys are giving really thoughtful answers, and you're starting to see this whole convictions process, this whole principles process is there. And part of this role model is literally living that out. And the people that don't like it up front, they become the folks that aren't primary in your life as much. And that's half of what human design gives us. As sad as it is, sometimes we move on a little bit. Never forget, you still love them. It's just that there's a moving on process. We need that so that y'all can be the rest of the way whole. We all can, we're the first souls giving this to the world. So if you think about it, it's finally breaking out now in our lifetime. So next question. What strategies help you tell the difference between your trial and error process or mistakes that help you grow and those that don't? Have you found that every mistake can be beneficial in some way? Have you found the strength and the empowerment in the recognition that your process of trying and trying and trying things and that sustaining ability, what have you found? Have you found that there's always something beneficial in it?
Mhm. Yeah, I like the statement like never make the same mistake twice. Do it slightly differently so that you get like a different flavor of wisdom from it. So that's how I like to live life. You can make the same mistake worse or slightly better, maybe a little bit to the left or to the right, but never the exact same mistake. Some has to be different for it to be productive.
Yeah, that makes sense. I think as long as you learn from it, no matter how big or small, I think I think it's necessary. I don't know. I think everything that happens like on our path, like it happens for a reason. So
Yeah, I definitely agree with both your answers. I felt like most of the mistakes that I got into, or the attempts or trial and error processes that I've been in, and it was kind of painful at the end, it was because I was making the same mistake again. I was entering probably in a very similar experience. I felt like I didn't improve, or I didn't like do something different in this next coming experience, which which is really hard for a 3-6. I feel like as a 3-6 we can be really hard on ourselves as being perfectionists. Like, we always want to look good, we always want to do our best. So to come out of an experience that looks like it's failed, and also the outcome didn't really improve our growth process, can feel really painful. So yeah, just don't do the same mistake again.
I think on my part, mistakes have been harder from the external, like the society. I've grown up in a system where it's quite village, like people around you are quite invested in you. And when I look at it now, I always look at, yes, it's my mistake. Say if I tripped and fell, it's me who's fallen. We have not all fallen. And one thing I at some point when I was going through so much, I'd prayed to God and I said, I don't even want the troubles to go anymore, because they're still there and proceeding. I said, teach me the lessons, allow me to see the lessons. And now for me, that's how I feel like I'm always failing forward, be it success, be it, mistakes, bumping into things, so that in everything, because sometimes you're immersed in something, say like in a relationship, and you're like, wow, this is the best man I could ever have found. Then you're blind to many things, but at the end, yes, I feel the heart, but I always ask, what are the lessons that I can get from this? So that way I'm able to process my healing better. I'm able to see the gaps, that maybe the loopholes that I left out. So I think for me it's become quite fun, even through the pain. Yeah.
and sometimes it can be really annoying. Like last week I lost my phone on the subway, and I was so frustrated, and I was like, you know what, this is a lesson. And it all worked out fine. Like, I ended up tracking it on my Find My iPhone, and I met up with the person who got it, and I got my phone back. And at the end, I was like, you know what, this is all for a reason, and there's a lesson to be learned here. But at the same time, it's like, did this really have to happen? But the lesson's there. I just need to be better about keeping my phone on me.
Yeah, and gratitude.
Plus, it added an extra trip and a whole other experience.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, usually I'll like find myself like telling myself like thank you. Like, I'll like, if I like stub my toe or something, it's like, oh, I just wasn't paying attention. I'm glad I reminded myself that I gotta like pay more attention next time, and I just keep a good mood and keep it pushing.
Everything you guys have just been talking about speaks to what the 3-6 profile is here doing. I mean, we're all here doing this to one degree, but you guys are sort of at the tip of the spear, and it's shattering through darkness in order to allow the light in. The light that disinfects and basically brings everyone whole again. It's a shattering because the darkness is in the mistakes. It's in the you have to have principles in the first place for what? And anyway, so last question. I don't know if this is the last one, but how do you navigate the balance between the third lines? Now, there's a skepticism in the third line, and we talked about it, a type of a pessimism that helps with you sort of seeing the world. It's only there to be a limited perspective, a taste of how to look at things, but it can overrun the life. So how do you guys navigate the balance between this third line skepticism and the 6 lines optimism? Can you share how this impacts your decision making and outlook on life, and just share in general, how have you learned to navigate this balance between your 3rd and 6th line process, skepticism to optimism and the right balance of that.
I think for me, it just came with age. Like, I just, over time, I just made so many mistakes and learned so many lessons that the optimism just overpowers the skepticism. Like, again, like, the mistakes will be annoying. The trial and error process is annoying, but I just always think to myself, like, there's something to be learned here, and I'll come out wiser and know so much more afterwards.
Yeah, definitely agree with that. And also for me, also, when I started to kind of focus on myself and focus on my own process without comparing myself to people who seem to be in a similar life situation as me, it kind of helped to not fall into that pessimism of why I'm not there where I'm at, because I know this is my own process, and I know also the same process of trial and error with this is skepticism and pessimism, as well as the optimism. It led me to some discoveries that other people would not also, get to. So I feel like there is definitely a payout of our process that it's going to be just looking different than other people. And once I just focus like, okay, this is me and it's different from everybody else, it kind of helps, because there is this harmony between the 3 and 6, and which I feel it. Sometimes I find myself talking to myself and like, yeah, it's gonna be okay. Like, in a way that probably the closest people will not be able to, to pour that love into me. So yeah, but it came definitely with age. It came with experiences.
Yeah, for me, the optimism always wins, and sometimes to a fault, because I found myself in situations where I've trusted people too much or thought too highly of people or situations. And then it turned out, like, well, maybe I shouldn't have trusted them with all of this, or maybe I should have, like been more skeptical at the beginning. But like, I have like the gate of doubt and everything and stuff. So I always start from the bottom, like when I'm rethinking a thing and stuff. So it's easy for me to all right, let me build this entire concept that I spent 3 years thinking about from the bottom, just because that one thing doesn't seem quite right anymore. So I'll rebuild entire things and stuff. But in terms of people and situations, blind faith a lot of the time, and sometimes it's selective ignorance being bliss.
I think for me, I also agree about the age part of things, because I think the more you experience, the more you're able to see and feel and maybe discern things as they happen. Because I feel like I have rebirths of my own self where things are tumultuous and then it comes back up and it's better, and then it goes round and round, and in those moments I'm able to move, of course when I'm in the downside of things, I'm just feeling, oh my gosh, what's going to happen? Is this going to really work? Can I believe in my ability? Then I remember, oh, you can't get something I wouldn't have the idea if I wasn't able to prove it, or if I wasn't able to at least attempt it. So I feel like I'm almost always having a dance with the two. But then when my conviction is high and I'm blinded, I'm like, this has to work and I believe it's going to work, then those are the moments where nothing else matters aside from it will work. I may not know the how, but that energy tends to flow in a way. I will start either meeting the people who will help me or have circumstances that enable that success to happen.
Always work out.
Amazing. You all had such amazing, insightful, well thought answers. I love hearing all of the different perspectives and all the life lived experiences. We on this channel live for that. So thank you for sharing yourself so deeply with us and so openly. It is an absolute treat, and I'm sure our audience, we get a lot of our audience watching the replay, so they're going to be taking so many wisdom nuggets from everything you shared. So thank you for that. Very much appreciated. So are you ready to let loose? I know I said that for bingo, but this is more so.
Yes.
Amazing.
Yes.
So get your phones out, friends. We are, what was I going to say? Start at the party portion of the night. Oh my God, I almost deafened myself there. So let me get our nice game screen, like lisping, started. We want system audio. Okay. So the audience, whoever has been following the profile line party, knows we tend to always stick to the same games. So there's some consistency in things that we can observe amongst the profiles to see how they're all different. So I will explain how to get connected with your controller. So the website you want to go on your phone is jackbox.tv.
The following nicknames have already been taken.
Then once
Falcon,
you're there, this
Viper,
is the code that you put in. LUUM.
Sleepy Pete, Goober, Terry Gross, Cargo Shorts, Chumbawamba,
And then yes, you
Spider,
pick a cute little
Spider
profile
with a Y,
picture to
Demogorgon,
represent
the
you.
Dark Overlord, and Jonathan. Thank you
And
for
it
listening.
looks like Mossab is the first person. So what happens in all these games, even after this one, whoever is the first person, they get a little VIP badge. So they become in charge to say that everyone's
Agent
in.
Hawthorne,
So
if
you
you
have the
could,
button,
act
Mossab,
naturally
on
and
your
report
phone
to
to say
observation.
everyone's in, so you can get the game started.
Okay.
3, 2,
Beautiful. And then the rest of the game is
Welcome
explained
to the government,
by
where we are always watching
the game
everything you
itself.
do.
So
Then we put it
have
all in a
fun.
document and print it out for the president. Can you believe the president still wants printed documents? We usually use it for good, but we also use it to play espionage. Let the espionage begin! First up. Oh, here's one we've been especially interested in. Don't ask. What percentage of male public restroom urinators suffer from stage fright? Give it your best guess. You get more points the closer you come to the actual percentage. Got it. 75%. Everyone else, now it's your turn. Do you think the correct answer is higher or lower? Just one person says lower. And the correct answer is 37%. You weren't within 30%, so no points for you. So who picked lower? Here's some points. Next up. But wait, there's more. What percentage of people have bought as seen on TV or infomercial products? Oh, and don't forget to answer the question too, audience. Every answer counts. 80%. Okay, higher or lower? Everyone is saying lower. And Surveil says 66%. Yeah, okay. That'll get you some points. Who got it right? Ooh, points for you. Okay, who's up next? I'm going to search for... What percentage of people have cleared their internet history in the past month? %. Everyone else, higher or lower?
Ooh,
It's unanimous again. Now let's get to the right answer. 49%. As if we don't have better things to do than collect the data once every 10 minutes. Let's see who got it right. Well done. You get points. Who's next? Ooh, I remember seeing good surveillance for this yesterday. What percentage of people find chimpanzees on roller skates funnier than chimpanzees smoking cigars? %. What do y'all think? Higher or lower? Just one of you is saying higher. Okay, let's see the right answer. 79%. I find it funniest when chimpanzees try and fill out their W-2 forms.
Wow.
Who got it right? Smart, yes. Here's your points. We made it through round 1. Let's peek at the scores. Time for round 2.
Hey, we're not doing
Who's
round
up
2.
first?
Yeah. How do I make it stop?
I'll bet our
How do I
database
not
has
know
some
my own game? There we go. Yes. Okay, there we go. Next game on the docket is the one where you just why are we on that? There we go. Aha, here it is. Okay, so this one, please be as unfiltered as possible. You're just going to put in some answers to some very strange questions. That's the best way I can describe this. And what was I going to say? So audience, including myself, once everyone's joined, you can use the same code to vote on whose answers you liked best. So that's fun because it plays with the scores that our lovely guests get. So we need 2 more, and then Jair, you get to be the VIP this round. No, we still are missing Ella.
I can't seem to join.
Is your phone putting in the new code? Because you have to put this new code in.
Where is the new code?
Right here. HFOZ. I mean,
Okay.
J. Wow, I can't read today. Yeah, every time we do a new game, it's a new code. I should have mentioned that. Whoops. What a cutie! All right, friends, enjoy!
Welcome. I'm your host, Schmitty. My voice is included with your purchase of this game at no extra charge. You know, it's not too often I see a group like this, thankfully. Time for round 1. 2 prompts will appear on your device, which you can answer in any clever or not clever way you want. Everyone will choose between your answer and someone else's and decide who wins. You score based on the percentage of players who like your answer. Plus, there are winners' bonuses at stake. Go! Almost out of time. Use the safety quit button if you have to.
Yeah, I definitely use the safety clips for myself.
Great. Let's see what we got here. First up, what a mopey mule would say. Okay, voting time. Pick your favorite. Next one, a weird thing for an astronaut to say on the moon. Get to voting. Next, proposed new Olive Garden slogan. When you're here, you're blank. Okay, vote. Moving on, the name of a restaurant that only serves grade D meat. It's voting time. That's it for round one. Let's bring up the scoreboard. Round two time, and look sharp because I'm doubling all the point values. Hurry, hit the safety quit button if you can't think of something. Time for the big reveal. Number 1 on the list, the last thing you want to hear while in a tent. Okay, pick your favorite.
There's that buzzing noise coming. That'll be scary.
Yeah. Finally, some points.
Up next, what the world's most obnoxiously trendy brunch restaurant would be called. Ready, set, vote.
First brunch.
Next in the hopper, a mystery that Nancy Drew couldn't solve. The case of the blank. And vote.
Oh.
Next prompt. A good punishment for an unruly child is to simply look him in the eye and tell him blank. Vote on your devices.
I use the safety clip. I don't know what that is.
Round 2 is out. Let's sneak a peek at the scoreboard.
There we go.
Ooh.
We've made it to round 3, the last lash. Focus up because you're all answering the same prompt. Complete this word lash task. Time to take a look. In this round, you've got 2 medals to give to your 2 favorite quips. Choose wisely. Okay, let's bring out those medals. Silver. And now the gold. Medals are nice, but points are even nicer. So,
Ooh, okay.
that's the end. Let's see the final scoreboard.
So to answer that one question about the JV lacrosse, I think that was junior varsity
Yeah.
with the JV, and lacrosse is just an all-around brutal sport. You guys are whacking each other with those stick nets.
Oh, okay. I don't think I know what lacrosse looks like. But that makes sense.
It's brutal. I think I only know it because Canada. That's like our national sport. It isn't hockey, funny enough. It's actually lacrosse. So let me get you all set up for the last game. How are we all feeling?
Very good.
Good.
Excellent. So let me... Hopefully you guys are nice and warmed up to... What was I going to say? To make sure that you don't blow up. So this is our audience's favorite, to see how every week our guests fare. Not blowing up and being as quick thinking and communicative all at the same time. It is a lot of multitasking, but I have faith in you. It's going to be great. So how's the volume coming in? Is it too loud, too quiet? Let me know, because this game you absolutely need to hear things. It's okay?
Been good so far.
It's been good or quiet? I couldn't hear.
Good.
Good. Okay, and all the rest of you is okay?
Yeah, I'm good.
Okay, magical. So let's get you started. So I kind of sort of walked you through what you want to be doing. So there's a timer, and you're trying to do as much as you can within that timer. And if you do it quick enough, more time gets added to that timer. So that's another incentive to be as fast as possible. So, are you ready?
Yes.
And enjoy.
It's all bombs all the way down. Defuse them until you explode. I'll just stand here and watch.
I have page 1. It says cut the 5th wire.
And page 2 says do not cut blue wires, even if another rule says that you should.
Page 3, cut all wires next to wire 3.
So, am I supposed to cut the wire? It says I'm
like 2, 4, and 5 should get cut.
2, 4.
Okay.
Okay.
I cut 2 and 4.
And the
It
5th
says,
one?
and what else?
Well, page 1 says cut the 5th wire. But then,
okay. So 2, 4, and 5. Okay.
Who has page 1?
Page 1. I have page 1. It says cut wire 2 if it's red.
And then I have page 2. It says cut all wires adjacent to wire 2. So 1 and 3.
And page 3 says wires need to be cut in order from right to left.
Okay.
1 and 3.
Oh, so page 1 says all of the numbers are odd.
I got page 2. And it says the numbers are in decreasing order.
Page 3,
Wait,
no
sorry,
numbers.
Sorry, what's page 2?
It says the numbers are in decreasing order.
Okay.
Page 3, no numbers repeat.
No numbers repeat. Okay, so page 4 is the first number is 7. So 7, 5, 3, 1.
We're pretty good at this. Ooh.
Okay, page 1, do not cut the 6th or 3rd wires, even if other rules say that you should.
Okay. And I got page 2. It says cut all white and blue wires.
Okay.
3 says cut even wires if they are black, but I don't see any black wires.
Page 4 says only intern Mossab may cut white wires.
Okay, so Masab can only cut the wires, and then do not cut the 6th or 3rd wires.
And it's white. So Mossab 1
I'm
and
not sure
4.
which one.
1 and 4. We blew up.
I think 2 and okay. It's okay.
I think we shouldn't have cut any wire, maybe. I don't know. Oh,
2.
okay. 3 and 6. Okay.
Yeah.
3, 6. It's our episode.
So I will say that is the furthest I've seen any profile get on the first round.
Oh,
That
awesome.
was so impressive.
Yay!
Pat yourself on the back. Feel
Look
free
at
to
us.
try again. We want to see how far you get after that warm-up round. Oh my god.
And I got page 1. It says page 4 is supposed to say odd, not even.
Odd.
Page 2, cut all yellow wires.
3 says do not cut the 4th wire, even if other rules say you would.
Even if it's...
Wait.
Page 4 says cut even wires.
Yeah, so with that, just still not the 4th.
Yeah. So which one is it? Because
What
it says
is yours?
page 4 is supposed to say odd, not even.
Oh, odd, not even. And then what is
So-
page 2?
Cut all yellow wires. Mine is irrelevant.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
And then
okay.
3.
Yeah, 3 says don't cut the 4th wire.
Okay, so then just 1 and 3.
It is.
Cut the 2nd wire.
I got page 2 and it says cut red wires if the bomb's model ends with a letter. Otherwise, do not cut red wires.
And 3 says cut black wires if the bomb's model ends with a number. Otherwise, don't cut black wires. And the model does end in number 6.
Wait, so what are we cutting?
So according to mine, black. And according to page 2, what?
What is page 2?
Page 2, it says cut red wires if the bomb's model ends with a letter, and it doesn't. So otherwise, do not cut red wires.
So 3 and 2.
Not 3.
I think we're really good. I really do.
Oh, you're right. You're absolutely right.
Third time the charm? We want to get to the file organizing. That's when you really got far.
Oh, okay. I got page 1. It says cut all yellow wires.
Cut all what?
Yellow wires.
Okay, mine says cut all blue wires.
Mine's irrelevant. It says if the bomb was made in 98, do something, but it doesn't matter.
Okay, so mine says if the bomb was made in 1996, treat yellow wires as red. So cut the blue wire. That's what I'd go for.
Yay.
Yay.
Page 1 says cut all even wires if the bomb was made after 0. So cut all even wires.
Mine says cut all odd wires if the bomb was made before 81, which it was. So are we just cutting everything so far?
Mine
far,
says
yeah.
do not cut the first wire even if another rule says you should. So if you're gonna cut everything, just don't cut the first one.
So 2, 3, and 4.
So 3.
2, 3, and 4.
And 4. Yeah,
Oh.
we're so smart.
Yeah.
When you're the cutter, it's so stressful.
Okay, so mine says sort by last name from A to Z. Press below to file.
Okay.
Oh,
No!
Oh no, what happened?
You should have filed
We should have
Francisco
gone through the
Torres.
name of the file.
That was my bad for not explaining it. So all of you have different folders, and they can mess with you depending on the round. So you needed to do an alpha order by the last name. So you had to say, I have C, I have E, or and then you know which order to do it.
Okay.
Oh,
Okay. So hit
You can try
replay.
again, because that shouldn't have counted. That was my bad. My bad.
Okay.
let's see. Page 1, cut all odd numbered wires.
And I got page 2. It says page 1 is supposed to say even instead of odd.
Oh. Page 3, do not cut wire 3, even if page 1 says that you should.
So I cut 2 and 4.
2 and 4.
2 and 4, yeah. Yay! Yay! Page 1, cut the first wire if it's green.
Page 2, cut the third wire if it's yellow.
Page 3 is irrelevant.
Okay, so 3 only.
Yay! Oh, oh, oh. Okay.
Last
I got
name
B.
Wu. W.
My last name starts with I.
Mine is Ronan.
Oh, so I
So
go
I'm
first.
R.
Is B is
What goes after B?
Jair.
is N's next?
Yours is next. Mine is W.
Oh, okay. So
R.
I'm yeah.
Awesome.
Page 1, cut all wires next to red wires. So 1 and 3.
Page 2, cut the first wire if it's black, the second wire if it's red, the third wire if it's black, and the fourth wire if it's white.
Page 3 says don't cut wire 1 if it's white, even if other rules say that you should. So we're not cutting 1.
So we're cutting 2, which is red. Okay.
Yay.
And 3. Awesome.
Page 1, cut all yellow wires, but not if that wire is the first wire.
All right, 2 says cut the 5th and 4th wire if they are not black, which they aren't.
Okay.
Do not cut black wires, even if another rule says that you should.
Okay. And then page 3 says cut the second wire. So it's going
2,
to
4,
be.
and 5.
So
Wait,
2,
page 4. Page 4 says page 1 is supposed to say green instead of yellow.
oh. So cut all green wires. Yeah.
So 5 or 4?
We cut the 4th and 5th wire.
Yeah,
What
4th and
is
5th.
I got scared.
Sort by last name from A to Z. I'm on J.
I'm also JAV.
That all.
J-A.
Yeah, so me first? Or is J first?
Wait,
See,
Jessica?
what,
I
which
have
one
Z.
you have?
I'm last.
Z. Okay. Musab, you're?
I got O.
I J.
Mine is JA.
Oh,
So,
so I go first. JAC. Yours
Mine
is JAB.
JAV. Yeah. So me first?
Okay, let me.
You go first. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, so we're at the high school.
Page 1. Do not cut wire 1 even if another rule says you should.
Okay. And then page 2 says, do not cut wire 4, even if another rule says you should.
3 says cut all wires, except for the ones that yours say not to.
Page 4, page 1 is supposed to say wire 2, and page 2 is supposed to say wire 3.
So 1 and 4? Or none? I don't know.
No, I think 2 and 3. Because, wait.
What was the first page?
1 and 4.
It says, do not cut 1, even if another rule says you should.
So do not cut 2. And then for page 2 is?
Do not cut wire 4, even if another rule says you should.
And this
So
is 3,
3.
so don't cut any.
So it's 1 and 4. I don't know. 1 and 4.
Yay.
Page 1, prioritize cutting wires in this order. 3, 1, 4, 2.
My page 2 says page 1 has a typo. Please swap the numbers 2 and 4.
Page 3 says, cut all wires that are not blue.
Page 4? Okay. Oh.
Yeah. Oh, my goodness.
The tension.
Page 1, the first number is 4.
Page 2, the third number is 5, more than the second number, and 2 less than the fourth number.
Page 3, the second number is the only number in the first row.
4 is the last number is twice the first number and is the biggest number in the code. What is
Brace for impact.
Oh.
We did so well.
Yes, we did.
The first digit should have been 4.
Wow. That was incredible. I have to double check last week's episodes. You might have beaten the 3 5s. We have to get a confirmation from someone else. Let me see. Danny, do you remember how many did the last week diffuse? Was it that many?
I don't. I forget, actually. It was just they got through a lot. And you guys got through a whole ton, too.
I'm going to watch the replay just to see, but for now, I'm going to give you the honorary title of being the record holders for that game so far in the Profile Party series.
So good. I would agree with that. You guys were killing it.
Like the role models that you are. It's like, this is how it's done, everyone.
Right.
Well, the funny thing is, the 3 5s didn't, they sort of thought they knew that that was the case, and that's what they're supposed to do. And you guys weren't quite sure, but you didn't make a big deal out of it. You know what I mean? And it just sort of plodded along. It was slightly different, but it was good.
Yeah, it's fascinating seeing the, like Danny mentioned, the bridge profiles, right? Because we're like, okay, they have a little bit of the profile that came before them, and now we're really looking forward to the 4 6 episodes. Like, oh, let's see how they're different from the 3 6s. So
wildly
it's
different. Yep.
Yeah. So you guys are like straddling 2 different profiles, like the characteristics of it. So it's very cool. But it was an absolute honor and pleasure to have such a rare gems of human beings on our show. Like, I'm so glad that you took the time, especially in super late time zones. Ella, you must be falling asleep. So much love and gratitude for being on.
Ella,
thank you so much.
I listened to the time, so you're ahead 7 hours. So since I'm up late, if you do text me somehow and we end up talking, your 7 or 8 a.m. will actually still work for me.
Okay, perfect.
Oh my gosh, that's amazing. So for everyone who is watching, they want to know how they can find you. So please let them know where they can reach out to you, whichever order you want to take that in. And then Danny, I'm going to pop off so we're giving the big screen to them while we leave.
Bet.
Well, my Instagram is jair.griffin, and that's like the best way to reach me.
Yeah, same. My Instagram is Jessica David, just Jessica David.
And my Instagram is a little bit weird. It starts with the number 93 and then the 3 letters OBY. 9300BY.
My Instagram at the moment is a business page because I can't access my personal one. So it is NADRA and then Africa. So Nadra Africa. So it has two E's in between. Yeah.
And I was going to say, you can also throw it in the private chat, and then I will just put the links up in the comment section for everyone. But with that, I will bid you all adieu. Thank you so much for coming, and please contact each other. You know, you have a 3-6 tribe now. It was very hard to find all of you, so please do. Keep in touch, keep the conversation going beyond coming on our show. And yes, I'm seeing it come in. I think the only person we're missing is Jess, but Jess, I have yours, so I'll throw it in the comment section for everyone to have the chance to reach out to you. But with that, have a wonderful night. Thank you so much again, and good night. And we are going to do the transit weather now. So let's pop everyone off. Boop, boop. Boop, boop. And tag.
We are on. I love
Hello.
it's amazing how she does that. Feels like a cool sci-fi movie. Gotta love that.
Mhm.
Hi, Moni.
Hi, Danny. How are you? That was really
Good.
fun watching them.
That really was. I was just amazed. I was gonna make a comment. The 3-5s made the threeness look, sort of sexy, and these guys made it look real. It was sort of different. There was a slight different thing.
And they were more
Theme.
poised. Like the
They were,
3-6s
yeah.
feel like more like composed and poised
They
and a little bit more
held the
like
composure. That was a different thing.
yeah.
I
And the
don't know.
5s
I'll watch it again. It was amazing.
our goofy 3-5s just being silly and wanting to share our like ridiculousness, and the 3-6s are like regal and composed.
You gotta love that. So our transit weather, the transit weather is we're just doing the easy stuff as it relates to the sun and the earth. Every 6.5 days, 6 to 6.5 days, the sun earth move to a new arm along the wheel. And right now we're in gates 53 and 54 from July 7th to the July 12th. So we're in the
Yeah.
middle of it right now.
Yeah, we're on the fifth line. We're 53.5 today.
Mhm.
So the sun in gate 53, which is this energy of beginnings, and the earth in 54, which is drive and ambition, and we're continuing. So this is like the third week in a row that both the sun and the earth have been in that root center, right? That's adrenaline, little pressure that starts something new kind of energy. So it's kind of fun seeing that this is like how that dynamic continues on, and especially in like summer. I feel like we hit like the summer solstice with extremes, and then it's like go. It's like summer, it's go, it's start new things, it's make it happen, and it's really fun watching it continue along.
Well, and it's even more than that in a way. I mean, there's an extra component. So all the gates of the throat are in the quarter of civilization. And suddenly this long stretch of root action is now in the crosses while we are in the summertime, which is the time of the throat and the manifestation, time for planting, time for all that stuff. So there's just says this whole run of it is about keeping the pressure on and keeping it steady. Keeping it steady. Why is pressure? This is wisdom of pressure.
That's cool. So the sun in gate 53, this is this energy of development, the gate of beginnings. Development as a structured progression that is both steadfast and enduring. Like we said, it's a root gate. It is part of collective circuitry. Anytime we hear collective, you think sharing. Specifically, it's part of the subcircuit that's known as the sensing, the abstract circuit. 53 connects with gate 42, which is the gate of increase and growth. And that channel, the 5342, is the channel of maturation. So gate 53 is the pressure to begin the cyclical process of maturation, a sequence of development from conception to completion, the fuel needed to begin something new.
53 is amazing. It's as I was saying before, it's like a dog on a chain that wants to get loose. And it does want to get loose because it's part of a hunger process to start something. The new beginnings isn't whimsical in gate 53. Tra-la-la, let's maybe start a new beginning. It's a drive. It's a drive to share this thing, and it's in the root center, so it's adrenalized. Yep, she's a beautiful force. She helps move humanity forward. We like it.
I always love your description. Continuing on, the Earth in Gate 54. This is the Marrying Maiden. It's drive, it's interaction in its mundane social context, but also one's mystical and cosmic relationships. It's part of the root center. And this one are actually tribal energy, right? So when we're thinking of tribal, you're thinking of support, right? And it's part of the ego circuitry specifically, which is more related to like business. It connects to gate 32, which is this energy of duration and continuity. And then the 5432 is the channel of transformation. So gate 54 provides humanity with the fuel and ambition to transform the tribe's material direction and standing among other tribes. It's the inner drive to rise up, providing the impetus for transformation for those around you.
With these root gates moving right in a row, what we're saying is transformation, and this one is both in the root center, by the way. You don't get many arms where both gates are in one center. This is one of them. And so transformation and maturation, beginnings, middles, and ends, is a transformative process. That's what this whole section is about. And that's sort of what the neutrino weather then would be. So when we read the weather forecast, it's the neutrino information pouring in upon our consciousness. We're all tuned into it like something that's all on the same string waiting to vibrate with it. And everyone's tuned into how this neutrino movement is coming. And this section of the time in the calendar is the transformative section whereby in our genome, we will be driven to transform and mutate and share that. And it's a powerful force to bring it into the world. So when I say mutate, start something. And your individual definition will always say start something new, something, or be part of something new, even if what you started is a continuation of something already moving. But it's starting. It's a hunger to start and a drive to make that work, to bring it into form. So that's, since it's coming in genetically upon us, and if you know what the neutrino movement out of the breadth of all of the stars in the universe really is, it's a consistency that keeps us all aligned in a very particular trajectory through the consciousness of the human form and us. And this is what you can expect: a hunger to try and start something and a drive to want to do that, a drive to want to bring it home to the family and or the supportive way, and the drive to share it, to share what we want to start. So to get people to join in, this is a week to let people join in on what you're driven to do. Go share it. This will help you find out who's right for you. People think you're kooky or whatever, just, they're not right.
Next up, we have our incarnation crosses. So people who are born within this past week, or new little people who are coming onto the planet, they'll have the incarnations of, first, there'll be the right angle cross of penetration. People who seem happy in the moment, yet feel the pressure to achieve recognition by beginning something new and know intuitively how to initiate others to join in. Then it moves along to the juxtaposition cross of beginnings. Highly sought after people who energize new cycles of transformation, new beginnings, and can assess the cost, value, and continuity of a project. And finally, we have the left angle cross of cycles. This is actually what we're in right now. Capable people who can bring a cycle of transformation to maturation as achievement and understand that the only thing that endures is change.
That's an important thing for us to know, is about the endurance of the change. And the right angle that is bringing this into form, this cross of penetration. So what does it say about this basic hunger to be driven to start something? That it is supported, aided, and abetted by the individual definition of 51 and 57. That's part of it's part of the total cross: 53, 54, 51, 57. Penetrating awareness, individual uniqueness, part of the creative integration circuit that must leap and must move into the new thing and must lead the tribe into something new. Actually, they're always showing the way. Let me show the way in the now to what is it I have totally seen, and I will give it to you in a driven manner. You can't miss it. It'll start like fireworks if I can help it. That's what this cross says.
funny.
Yay, I like it. That's good.
Yay.
Sorry, I'm
Oh.
done.
No, you're fine. This is actually July 7th to the 12th, continuing my third line theme. But the rest of the information is correct. So the sun in gate 53, which is the energy of beginnings. The hexagram for this is wind over mountain, and the imagery that it described was how a tree on a mountain is going to grow differently than like a tree in a valley. And so that because there's so much wind and there's so much extreme weather, and so it needs to like take the time to like develop those roots to be able to like handle the wind and the extremes that comes. I thought that was kind of cool. And then for the earth in 54, it's drive and it's thunder over lake, and it was describing an image of like the shock and the thunder and the new that comes in, and then being like the lake, right? Just being like still and able to handle the flow and just reflecting the shock to be able to like handle that which comes in and be ready to like respond to it. And I thought that was really nice.
I thought that's really good because the water is the lake very much is a grounding thing. She's not going anywhere, right? The lake stays put. And then the thunder comes in to help move that. It sounds like the Mirroring Maiden, always driven, wanting to be driven, to sort of move it and its people up some form of a ladder to move along, essentially. And break out of bondage, too. The Mirroring Maiden isn't just about moving up the ladder. It's about breaking free of old forms, breaking free of the bondage. Hence, it's connected to new beginnings.
That's cool.
Yep.
I love
Oh,
it.
poetic, man. The stuff is poetic. One day we'll just take a walk around the wheel and we'll see, oh my God, this is how our genome is being sewed up, you know, generation after generation, year after year. And so this stuff isn't just astrology information. It is what's pouring into your body right now, activating things that behaviorally will help move you over the next few days. Watch it. It might not move you at all. You might not notice it. You might see it in a big way, but overall there is a movement and we can count on that. So it's good.
I love it. I love going through it with you. It's so fun to like learn as it progresses through and like discover like the imagery of it and bringing in the I Ching with the hexagrams. I just think it's so much fun.
You remember in the beginning, I think it was with you when we were looking at it around the wheel and we were talking about how the wheel sews up through from line 1 all the way through line 6, and then it goes back down. So if you look at it like a needle through thread, you can see we are sewing ourselves up, like sowing the seeds of love, like sowing the thing, reaping what you sow. So this is it's a powerful time. There's a lot of root energy and it's hungry to start. So feel that, start something, see what it feels like. And don't forget, you don't have to finish it. You're 53. You're starting. If it doesn't finish, that's not your problem. So see how
and,
that
like,
feels.
and feel free to like take in breaks in between too. Because like there might be a lot of root pressure to do this thing and this thing and this thing and this thing. And then I've started 20 things and I'm like, what am I doing? Like, don't be afraid to also like take a break and just like feel the energy and see like what really calls you and like play with it. Like that's the whole fun of human design is it's your experiment. See how the movie comes in because we're going to be feeling this energy, like starting new things. So start some new things and then maybe start too many things, then like take a rest and then come back to it and like play with it. See how it is for you.
That's exactly right. I'm glad you pointed that out. Nice, simple, logical things for people to think about. Do that and start too many things if you want for a moment, but make sure you back off before it ruins your day. But go for it.
Yeah, play with it. That's the fun of human design. It's your experiment. We all get to see what that is for us.
Indeed. So I feel pretty good. I wish we had more people asking questions on this section somehow. Maybe we should just do a thing where we get people to call in and see what they're experiencing, and it'd just be so nice. But one day we will walk around the wheel.
Yeah, I think especially like because right now so much of the focus is the profile line party, and I think as we like get through this section, then we'll be able to bring in like more other people or more other fun ideas that we have for the show. I feel like it's like cool, we're doing this, focus this through, and then like that'll come.
I'm with you, Moni. This is going to be good, and we're doing it. So yay us, man. Team awesome. Yep, killing it. So I feel good.
I feel good. Hello,
Moana. We made it again. Yep.
Another one in the bucket. We're doing it.
And
Let me go check our spreadsheet.
It felt so good, man. It felt so good. It was
right?
Yeah. Hey, do you have your spreadsheet to bring up in case anyone's looking or watches this? They might choose to volunteer on what's missing.
Oh no, we're full up. I do this stuff months in advance.
I make sure to do everything at the last minute, so I got a T-shirt that says, "Don't bother me. I'm busy waiting till the last minute."
Nope, that won't fly here. This is done way in advance. The only ones I'm missing is the 6-3s, but they are banding together on their own and bringing themselves to me, which has not
No
happened with any other
way.
profile.
Dude, you know, the threeness through the walk as you move through these profiles, the threeness seems to saturate it more than any other number, although it only happens the same 4 times as every other number. So it begins with a 3, it ends with a 3, and it seems to have this 3 in the middle spot. That's like this giant shaking up line space. It begins and ends there. It's something about it.
Well, it's like the material world that it's like we're bumping into. It's just like we're spirit embodied, and so it's in our nature to be like bumping into the material world because that's the plane that we play in.
In one of the very first courses, money courses Ra ever taught, and that he was sort of going through, he's like, listen, if you want to make this easier on yourself, just read all the third lines in the Rave Mandala through the I Ching. Just read every single one of them, take them in, feel it, and then find the third lines in your body graph and just pontificate that. Boom, you'll start a material way.
I'm going to go do that right now.
Yeah. Yep. No, literally, just read all the third lines in the mandala. Read them with your friends. Like, just what is this? What is this? These are the material ways in our plane. You know, not exclusively, but predominantly.
Right. I was going to say something, and now I completely lost my train of thought.
Sorry, Mom.
Open head problems. Just like, what? It's out. But if you're new to this channel and you have no idea that we do this weekly, yes, we do this weekly. Please come by and say hi in the chat. Hang out with us. Give us a follow so we know that you're watching and enjoying our content. You have no idea the amount of effort that goes into making just one of these episodes.
And love. So much love.
So much love. It's just like blood, sweat, and tears. You have no idea. So please show us some love. We love bringing you this profile line series. I am positive nobody has attempted this before. It is a Herculean effort to go through 48 different guests over a span of 12 weeks. So
incredible.
We
really bit off a lot.
So we're breaking some crazy ground, and yeah, we get to see the bubble of that profile in a way that I don't know any other way you would, unless you go wrangle it out in real life.
You wouldn't unless you wrangled it in real life. That's absolutely true. And even in real life, there would be certain things you'd get and certain things you'd miss compared to just watching them. You know, so hard to say because everybody who doesn't know, Moana made up the rules. I didn't like it at first, but I learned to obey, and now I realize the wisdom of it. Danny, you cannot interact with them once I take you off the screen. You're done. It's like the debate when they were cutting off Donald and they couldn't say anything more. I thought that was funny, but
it's like the trope where that like
cane.
Yeah, the cane just pulls off the person off the stage, or like the curtains close. It's like, no, your time's done. You're done now.
Done.
You're leaving. But now you see it.
Oh no, I see it, and I knew there'd be. I knew I'd be like, I just have to trust. I'll see this. It's just whatever. It doesn't matter. It's
right.
True.
So
gotta be true. The ladies are saying it's true. Be a smart boy and agree.
So Crazy Town.
Happy life.
This was the second last of the personal destiny profiles. So once you do the 4-6 and the one lonely juxtaposition profile, we move into transpersonal. So we're making some headway. Have we hit the 50% point?
That'll be at the 4-1. Will be like our 50%.
That's crazy. So we're getting there. So for us non-sacrals on the team, we need a break. So we're going on break next week. We desperately need this break.
We're off next week.
Yeah, so we are off next week, and we are coming back with the last personal destiny profile, this 4-6s, but we have a special guest joining us. You might not remember him. It's Kip Winsett. He's going to be representing the 4-6 projectors, so it's going to be really exciting. So we are going to be coming on an hour earlier, so 7:30 Eastern instead. So come watch the 4-6s have their shot at diffusing bombs and answering questions, and playing bingo. It's going to be a great time. We're super excited. And yes, if you have just stumbled upon us, like, go check out our old episodes. We cover all the basics. We go into the centers, we go into all the energy types and all the authorities. Like, we have done the foundational stuff for you. So go check that out. It's there for you to view. It's under my brain's farting.
It's on YouTube.
Videos, yes. On YouTube, it's just under videos or something, right?
Awaken Your Human Design, and it'll just be there. Look through the
It'll
video.
just be there. But on Twitch, you have to go under highlights, and it's all there. So you will find us, even if it doesn't say recent broadcast. But yes, please check out our stuff. Give us, some love. And we are so honored that you join us here every week and you check out the replays. We love you all. And thank you so much for being part of this.
We are done. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, ladies. Love
Cheerio.
you.
Have a wonderful night.